Hey y'all, today I'm wearing a hat because I have really messy hair and I don't want to have to deal with it. But today we're going to be doing part 4 of reviewing community submitted unpopular opinions. Again, if you want to see one of your opinions in one of these videos, go ahead and use the Google form down in the description. So without further ado, let's get into some of these unpopular opinions. First, I think this is from Marshallthehaunter. I think I might have accidentally spelled the name wrong. But they said that Spirit should bring back the slime boxes. I would have to agree fully. If you didn't know, this is what the boxes used to look like. It would have this kind of font where it would have the name of the prop or just like zombie babies in the slime font. And it was so creepy. It was like dripping. It was all spooky. And I would definitely have to agree. I think that it was such a good font. And now they just have fonts like this, like Poor George. Super boring, just like white lettering. Also just like the graveyard on these boxes. Like I'll move Iris so y'all can see. But I think the background on these boxes was a lot more strong. I'm gonna move. But as you can see, it's just, there's a lot more going on. It's a lot more colorful. It screams Halloween. It screams spooky to me. But these kind of boxes don't really, it's not the vibe. So I would definitely have to agree with this. I do think that Spirit should bring back the slime font. From Nozzles Fan 2023, this one is scandalous. They said that I hate that the Possessed Woman girl props like Broken Girl, Demonic Dahlia, and Widow are 3 of my least favorite animatronics of all time. I'm really hoping that you don't actually think this, because if you know me, those are like some of my favorite animatronics of all time. I have Widow in the corner. I have Broken Girl, like parts of her over there. And then I'd be searching for Demonic Dahlia all over eBay. So, I mean, I'm probably not the best person to talk to this about just because I do have my biases. I think that creepy girl props are some of the creepiest, terrifying, just unsettling props because they're usually supposed to be innocent, but they're like terrifying, you know? And like the Widow and Demonic Dahlia, they're just like really creepy, you know? Like specifically the Widow, I love her animation, I love her general look, I love all the details she has on her face. She looks terrifying. I'm looking at her right now. She's creepy. She's really awesome. And so, again, I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about this with just because I have my biases, but I would have to disagree. I think that they're just some of the coolest props around, and also their pricing is generally pretty good. You know, Spirit loves to make props like $400, like the 7-foot monsters, but usually, like the creepy girl, creepy woman props are fairly affordable, so I would definitely have to disagree with this one. Another kind of scandalous one from DylanTheHaunter. They said that Poor George is the worst prop this year. So, if you haven't seen already, I have Poor George. He's over there. I think he's really awesome. I usually don't like clowns, and for the most part clowns I think are super overdone, but whenever there's a new animation or a unique idea or a new look and it's well done and has a decent price, I mean, like, dang, I don't know. I think Poor George is one of the better animatronics this year. There's definitely some this year that are kind of bad overall. There's nothing this year that's like horrible like Johnny Punk or any of those, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that I would not say that Poor George is like a bad animatronic. I wouldn't say that he's the worst this year either, so I'd have to disagree with this one. From JWHaunts, they said that Betty Sharp was one of the best props of 2022, and I'm surprised that she has 5 stars and is returning. Betty Sharp was a little bit disappointing to me. I remember when I saw the leaked photos, she looked very different. She didn't look like how the original actual Betty Sharp looked. She looked almost like she had like a more triangular face and a lot more evil, which I really liked. And canonically, I love the whole like mommy's favorite, mommy's least favorite, kind of like stabbing her, killing her. I really love that. I love when Spirit does lore between props. And I think her phrases are good. I just don't like her voice and her face. I think her face looks really weird. Also, her eyes, I don't know why, but they're like these plastic doll eyes. I don't know where I have them, but I have them. I got them on Amazon. I actually used them for these things. But yeah, if you can see, it's like the same. These are like these weird like little flesh creatures I made, but it's the same eyes that you can get online, and I feel like they don't really fit. Whenever I see her, I just like think of those. But I don't know. I know a lot of people that love her, and saying she's the best prop of 2022 or a better prop is probably true just because I don't think 2022 was one of the best years by far. So I don't really know what to think about this one. She's definitely an interesting prop, and I think that she definitely will grow on me. in the next few years, just because I do love Mommy's Favorite, and I do love like the knife, I love the bag, I love all that, but I think she had a lot of missed potential, especially for the price. I don't know, I think she could have been a lot better, but I would definitely say she's a better animatronic of 2022, so I'd probably have to agree with this one. Seniordolicollector says that out of the 2020s so far, 2021 was the best year for Spirit, disregarding 2023 because it's not fully out. So yeah, I would have to say that 2021 is probably one of the best years. I think I've talked about this a few times in this series, but the way I think about these 3 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, 2020 was okay. It was obviously the year of COVID, so they had to cancel a lot of things, but the props were overall pretty decent. I thought 2021 was really awesome. I loved the themes, I loved the props. Honestly, such a great year, and then 2022 was just kind of I stand by the fact that I feel like every odd number year is a good year, because 2019 especially was awesome, 2013 was really cool, 2017 was awesome. Not saying that even number years are bad, but I just feel like that odd number years are gonna be pretty good. So overall, I would have to agree with this one for sure. Divine says that Rosemary was the best prop for 2010. I was really confused when I read this the first time because Rosemary did come out in 2011. I don't know if they meant the best prop of the 2010s, like 2011, 2012, up to 2019. But I guess if you're meaning 2011, because that's when she came out, I would say, yeah. I think a lot of the props this kind of era for Spirit were either super cool or really boring, and Rosemary was super cool. She had so much animation, she was creepy, she was a decent price, she was always in like a decent part in the themes. So I don't know if I agree with this just because Rosemary was not in the themes in 2010. I don't know if this was just a typo, but I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Divine says that Crouchy is boring and overrated. Crouchy, in my opinion, is a fair prop. He came out whenever clowns were, it's like the midway point where clowns were still kind of starting to be made a lot more, but they weren't super overdone. And I think in terms of all the clowns, he was decent, but he is very overrated in my opinion. He's just a 7-foot clown, fairly like lackluster appearance, generic animation, generic audio, and people just love their clowns. I know that there's like a cult following for clowns, which I'm kind of annoyed by. So overall, I would have to agree with this one. There's a lot from this icespice #1 fan person, but they said that Techy Toys fell off, that's why they re-released their old stuff. Completely disagree. I think Techy Toys was good back then and still good now. They don't produce as much stuff as they did back then. I don't know why. I think they just put a lot more work into their stuff. I don't want to give Techy too much credit. I feel like I'm always just praising them in these videos. But, you know, I think that their concepts are still good, and I think that they still produce decent props. Obviously, we haven't seen everything that Techy has for this year. Darling Dolly, from what I've seen, is super creepy, super cool, good animation, all that. I don't know. I wouldn't say that they fell off. And the fact that they re-released their old stuff, I don't think that was them trying to be like, please give us money, please. I don't really think that it was them trying to hold on to like old memories and losing. I feel like it was just like a smart business tactic because they were good props, you know. They were just like, hey, we should re-release these because we can get money, we can get some extra money, and it's not like please, we're dying, we're starving, nobody likes us anymore, if that makes sense. So I would have to disagree with this one. thatpsycotichaunter says that Convulsing Nurse might be one of the best spirit props of all time. In terms of scariness, definitely. Convulsing Nurse is a terrifying prop. If you had the glorious experience of seeing her in 2013 in the asylum theme, you would have seen how creepy she was. Her idea is so creepy. Her face all like stitched up, no eyes, her arms are cut off, her toes were cut off, her legs were cut off. I'm joking. But her arms are cut off and they have like chains coming out that attach to the wall. Her audio is super creepy. I also love that she had that manual activation box. I think that's super cool. Overall, I'd probably have to agree. I think her quality was decent. She looked really awesome. Her audio was good. She fit in the theme well. So yeah, if someone said that their favorite prop is Convulsing Nurse, I wouldn't question that at all. I think that's a very valid opinion. So I definitely have to agree with this one. This one is an interesting one. UntimleyHaunts says that Crouchy and Nightcrawler are super overrated, and I don't know why they keep making merch of them. So I'd have to agree. I don't really think either of them are that cool. Although Nightcrawler's a cool prop. But I kind of understand why they make merch of these props. These two are some of the props that have given them the most views and attention online. From a marketing and business standpoint, it kind of makes sense just because if something is popular, obviously you're going to re-release it or like keep making stuff about it. I think Young Crouchy is stupid. I think they should have just returned Crouchy online only. But, I mean, I think I'm fine with it. Like, it doesn't take up a huge portion of the store layout or anything. Like, the merch is obviously kind of annoying just because it's the same, like, 3 props. But, like, the little, like, backpack hangers, I only got one of them and it was Crouchy and I wasn't mad. I'm not gonna cry and complain. But I guess it kind of makes sense that they did that. That they keep releasing stuff about them. But I can see how it's annoying. It's kind of just, like, the same stuff that we've seen. But, like, a doll. Or on a mug. Or on a magnet. Or poster. I don't know. So this one is kind of half and half because I can understand why they make merch of it, but I would say they definitely are overrated. So whichever one you wanna say. So that's it for this episode of reviewing community submitted unpopular opinions. It's always a tongue twister to say that, but if you want to see your opinion in the video next episode, episode 5, just go ahead and submit your opinions in the comments or in the Google form. I'll probably see them more in the Google form just because it's more laid out. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to see yours in the next video, I would recommend saying a very like specific kind of unique opinion, because I realized I was looking through these and a lot of them are kind of just like vague or things that I said in the video, which I thank you for watching, but at the same time it's like, yeah, I would agree with it because I said it. Like, that's the thing that I said in the video. It's just funny. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.